the village that feared birth. In the village of Apakun, the people had a peculiar tradition. When someone died, they celebrated with music, dance, and feasting, but when a baby was born, the village fell silent. Doors shut, windows closed, and the mother was left alone, trembling. No one visited, no one rejoiced. It was an ancient rule followed without question. A curious 10-year-old boy, Adebola, couldn't understand why. He asked his mother, but she only whispered fearfully that long ago, a baby brought a curse upon the village. No one dared question the tradition. That week, when an elder named Baba Odtun died, the village exploded in celebration, drums pounded, people sang, and children played. But 2 days later, when a woman named Ayant gave birth, the village shut down in fear. Adebola, confused, sneaked to Ayant's hut and saw the newborn, a tiny, innocent girl. Why are they afraid of her, he wondered. Determined to find answers, Adebola approached Baba Agbola, the village's oldest man. The elder explained that generations ago, a baby was born with strange eyes, and soon after, sickness spread, rivers dried, and cattle died. Believing the child caused the disaster, the villagers began to fear all newborns. But Adebola refused to accept this fear. He convinced his friends, Folake and Tund, to help change the tradition. That night, they left flowers, fruits, and gifts outside Ayant's hut, a quiet act of defiance. The next day, whispers spread through the village. Some were angry, others curious. That evening, Adebola and his friends lit a fire in the village square and sang, just as the villagers did during funerals. People emerged from their homes, drawn to the music. When Adebola boldly declared that they were celebrating the baby, many gasped in horror. Baba Olatunji, the second oldest elder, warned that the curse would return. But Adebola challenged him. How did they know the curse was real? What if they had feared nothing for generations? The village fell silent. Then, Mama Tamalade, an older woman, stepped forward and asked to see the baby. When she held the child, she gasped, then laughed. The baby was just like any other child. Slowly, the other villagers followed. For the first time ever, Apakun celebrated a birth. The old fear began to crack like dry earth before the rain. Even Baba Olatunji, though reluctant, could not deny what he saw. But then, disaster struck. A boy named Kunal fell gravely ill. Panic spread. The curse has returned, the villagers cried. Baba Olatunji insisted they had angered the spirits. Fear threatened to reclaim the village. Adebola refused to give in. He turned to Baba Agbola and asked if there was a way to save Kunal. The elder sighed. Before fear took over, the village had healers, but their knowledge was forgotten. Then, an old woman stepped forward. I was once a healer, she revealed. Despite fear and doubt, she treated Kunal, using ancient remedies. The night was long, and the village waited in suspense. At dawn, she emerged with good news: Kunal would recover. The village erupted in relief and joy. The sickness had not been a curse. It was simply an illness. Baba Olatunji sat in stunned silence, realizing that perhaps they had feared the wrong thing for centuries. That night, the village gathered again, not for death, but for life. They sang, danced, and welcomed birth with open hearts. In the following weeks, everything changed. Mothers no longer feared pregnancy. Fathers proudly named their children. The village, once haunted by fear, was now filled with love and joy. Even Baba Olatunji finally admitted, we were wrong. Years later, Adebola became a wise man. Sitting beneath the great tree, he told children the story of how Apakun overcame its greatest fear. Fear is like a shadow, he said. It only exists when there is no light. A little girl asked, and you brought the light? Adebola smiled. No, my dear. We all did. And so, Apakun became known as the village that conquered fear, where both life and death were honored, and love replaced fear forever.